What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 100% Chelsea and ahead of the massive derby at the weekend. It's not really a derby, but we'll talk about it another time. Me and Jack here from Fulhamish have already decided we're going to do a whole video on why neither of us really give a shit about Chelsea versus Fulham as a derby. But still, big game at the weekend.
Yeah.
Claudio Ranieri coming back to Stamford Bridge again. Obviously, you know, he's playing Leicester next week as well, so it's going to be a very interesting couple of fixtures for you guys. But one game in, how are you feeling?
Positive. You know, we got the 3 points against Southampton. That's exactly what we needed. We needed to get off the bottom of the league. We're now in that little tight group at the bottom of the table with the likes of Southampton, the Cardiffs, the Huddersfields, and we're in that little mix. But it's just a shame that we've got Chelsea next because we really wanted to kick on from this. But we'll see what happens on Sunday, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. I think, obviously, we are talking about it's a newly promoted team, and obviously, you know, it's as we said, it's a derby. It's a game that everyone's going to be up for. You're saying we're having lunch earlier. You're saying you're more defensively sound, looking much better now at the back. Have you already seen any changes between Jokanovic and Ranieri other than that?
Yeah. So what happened was when we went 2-1 up against Southampton, we were much more defensively rigid. We had two banks of four behind the ball, and Southampton were just trying to work past us. They managed to get the goal with Armstrong, and even then, when they tried to push on for the winner, you could see the very rigid 4-4 behind the ball, which really was good to see. And then obviously we got the winner and held out for the win for 25 minutes, and we're just seeing a little bit more shape to our defence, whereas against Jokanovic, under Jokanovic, it was more let's just play football, let's be expansive, and that evidently just creates gaps in our defence, and that's why we've conceded so many this season. Ranieri, Italian manager, Italians do love to defend, and he's got a great track record at different clubs. We're seeing signs of life at Fulham, and it's positive to see.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really important for you guys to get those points against the sides around you. Obviously, to try and stay up this season. Obviously, nice little derby for us, usual pubs, home pubs, and then off we go down Putney Bridge for the away game in March. But you know, I'm going to ask you a question about what do you think of Chelsea this season? How do you think we've been performing? Obviously, I know you watch the channel, you go to university with Lewis. You know, what's he been like in terms of losing his rag every so often, and has he been turning up to lectures as well?
Well, I haven't seen him at many lectures, but you know, you're unbeaten before Tottenham, so he was in a fairly good mood. But obviously this week it's been a bit ropey. But Chelsea have been a good team. They've got some good wins, you know, Burnley, Southampton, but then there's some dodgy results as well at home to Everton, and obviously you lost to Tottenham. I felt that loss was against Tottenham was probably coming, and a team like Tottenham with a lot of quality, they really did do a number on you guys. And look, we all know that Chelsea are a top team. They'll finish top 5, maybe even top 4 this season. That's a guarantee. It's all about for them getting back in the Champions League. That's where they really deserve to be as you know, a big team like Chelsea. But yeah, it's been a weird one. I think there's very good Kante, Jorginho, Hazard, Willian, Morata. I just feel as though maybe they might be slightly vulnerable, and on Sunday, and that's something to be excited about for us.
I agree. I think it's going to be. I mean, you were saying earlier. I think one thing that as a fan of a top 6 club, I don't really get to appreciate. Earlier, you were kind of sat down as a guy, you know, a team that's been in the Championship the past couple of years. You said, "Oh, it's going to be the first time I'm going to see Kante live," and you know, for me, it's a case of, you know, it is a massive privilege to see that guy play every week. You know, the man is a legend. I love him to bits. But let's go into you a bit more now. Who should we watch out for? What is your biggest strength? And yeah, let's just go with that.
Yeah, I think look out for Ryan Sessegnon down that left-hand side. He's tricky, he's quick, and if you play Azpilicueta right back, he could get caught out a couple of times, and that could see us get in behind. Look out also for Mitrovic. That's the biggest strength for us. Get the ball into Mitrovic's feet, hold up the play, or get balls into the box. He'll be a complete, utter nuisance for you guys, especially the likes of David Luiz, who had a terrible game against Tottenham, if you don't mind me saying.
I really don't mind you saying he did have a terrible game against Tottenham.
But I think Rudiger's a very good centre-back. I think he could manage Mitrovic well. But if you give Mitrovic that half a yard, he can turn, shift the ball onto his, I think it's his right foot, yeah, and he can smash one away. If he sees goal, he'll shoot, as Jack said a couple of days ago on the podcast. But I'm very excited to see what Mitrovic could do, especially in this kind of like derby atmosphere, maybe, it's so-called.
I mean, I would happily take Mitrovic to Chelsea, but I think I'd take any centre forward that can score goals at the minute. But let's round it off. What's your 11 going to be, do you think? And give me a score prediction.
11 will be, I think, will be completely unchanged from the game against Southampton. So that will be, if you want me to quickly run through it, it'll be Sergio Rico in goal. At the back will be Lamarche on left back. Centre backs will be Mawson and Adoy. Right back Christie, and then Seri with Chambers in midfield, Schürrle on the right, Session on the left, Kenny just behind Alexander Mitrovic for that kind of 4-2-3-1 formation. Could see us get a 1-1 draw. I feel as though we will score. I think it'll be 2-1 to Chelsea, though, unfortunately.
Well, there you heard it. Jack Kelly from Fulhamish. We'll leave a link down in the description. We're going to be heading across there now, obviously, to do our preview, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. We're also going to be doing a combined 11, and we're going to be talking about why none of us give a shit about Chelsea versus Fulham as a derby. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Thanks, Jack, for coming on, mate. Appreciate that.
Cheers.
Cheers, and take care. See you later.